Instagram has completely changed the entire construct of dating. You know why? It's because a woman is one DM away from the next dude.
Too much attention.
It's too much attention.
Mm-hmm.
If you would go 20 years ago, she just couldn't go to the next guy.
Mm-mm.
She didn't have all this attention on her. She didn't have all these dudes liking her pictures, all these dudes trying to get with them. And I'm not saying that to every woman, but we're still in a day and age where attention is very prominent when it comes to dealing with women. So they have way more options than they used to have.
Listen, if you find you a chick with less than 1,000 followers,
I'm telling you now.
Keep her. Keep her. Listen, the rappers ain't been in her DMs. The scammers, keep her. I'm telling you.
Keep her, bro.
It's a blessing. Oh, shit, she got 300 followers? And that means she don't be on social media like that. That means she don't really care for it.
Mm-hmm.
That means she ain't really putting enough energy into it. She don't give a fuck.
Right.
It's a blessing. All right, welcome to the Rich and Unemployed podcast, man. This is Manhood Mondays. I'm your host, Jonathan Dupiton, a.k.a. Finesse, also known as Rich. Call me anything, but please do not call me broke. Before we get started, make sure you guys check out the Patreon for the exclusive content. We dropping back to back on that for the Patreon members. For all the people that's fucking with me, that's paying customers, I fuck with y'all. Also, the website, www.richunemployed.net. And this episode is brought to you by...
You have to relax a little bit. Calm down. You have to chill. So stressed out, you're jumping your heart rate up. You have to calm down.
I don't know if this is a real problem. It's a problem. It's not a problem.
I'm gonna grab the doctor.
Let's go get the doctor. Go get the doctor.
Run! God damn!
Oh, damn, baby.
That's a monkey on.
Good afternoon. You're okay. Listen, we have to do an emergency D-section. How did this happen in the first place?
Oh shit!
Okay.
I took this.
Okay, your third leg.
How many did you take?
3.
I can organically take care of it.
What about her?
I'm gonna get some sheets and some
She's
towels.
skilled.
Yes, and bring a bucket and a mop. In the future, sir, one bottle.
She had to find something else.
One bottle. Oh. Here it is. Come on,
You
baby.
can?
I got it.
Oh yeah.
The one and only Your Manhood, Your Third Leg. Please cop that. It's not for you niggas that has ED. It's for an extra power. You know what I'm saying? You know, men, we always seeking for more power. And that's what it gives you. It's just like money. Money gives you power. Your third leg gives you power. I'm gonna leave it at that. So we have a very special guest, man. This is a friend of mine, actually, bro. But I wanted to invite him on the podcast because he be on the same type of time I'm on. I actually look at him like a mentor, bro. Like, I think he's like 5 years apart, maybe 4 or 5, whatever. But every time that we link, and it be gaps. When we link, it's always like trying to push each other, or like, hey, bro, I'm doing this. Hey, bro, I'm doing this. Hey, bro, this is what I learned. Or this is what I learned. Hey, nigga, this is how much money we need to be getting. So go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Alex Inman, serial entrepreneur, Atlanta, Georgia. And, I just want to be Black James Bond.
The Black James Bond. What does that even mean, bro?
You know, I used to play a game called GoldenEye. You remember GoldenEye back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
With the Nintendo 64, the chop.
That was my favorite game, bro.
That was my favorite game.
That was my favorite game.
But as I got older, man, I really wanted to be somebody coming from a small town, one of 8 kids. And as I got older and as I started to progress through life, I was like, man, I really can be not necessarily a James Bond, but I can be somebody big. I can be a character. I can really live a life that we see in the movies, like a James Bond movie. So if you think about James Bond, I mean, he was smooth. He had the ladies. He always completed the missions. He had the nice car. He was just a professional.
For sure.
And that's the main reason why I liked what he stood for because he was a professional. And me, I believe I'm a professional in everything that I do, in the way I dress, in the way that I conduct things, even the way that we met. I met you in a professional way. I came to your event. And then I came to the next one. Because a professional does things a professional way. I don't need the hookup. I don't need the coupon clip. No, I'm going to do it the professional way.
Love that. Your demeanor speaks professionalism. The way you carry yourself, your work ethic, especially in the gym. I think we need to cover that first because I think a lot of men, they don't take that shit serious enough.
Yeah.
And not to down anybody that don't go to the gym, but I feel like, I know for me, I had to get in the gym because I felt too fucking small.
Right.
I felt too little. I felt like I wasn't like my max potential. And I want to be at my max potential on all levels, not just when it comes to money, because we always want to just chase the money first,
right,
and not want to be leveled out on all levels. You want to reach that maximum potential on all levels, right, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to health, when it comes to women, when it comes to money, financial, everything. So, and then that also carries on to other areas of your life. It doesn't just stay at the gym. It stays in, it's how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Right.
So just break down, like your mindset when it comes to the fitness aspect.
So when it comes to fitness, a man has to understand that he has to be able to cover all components. You ever see the rich guy who's fat with the pot belly?
Yeah.
Jumping out the supercar. We like the car, but we don't want to be him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which means that guy's missing the fitness component. So for me, when I started making money, but I just didn't like my fitness. It was like, something's off, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't be so focused on money to where I neglect fitness. I neglect all the other areas in my life. So as a man, you got to be able to be good at a multitude of things. And this is why it's so hard now as a man to become high value, is because, bro, it just ain't money, bro. You got to get in shape too. You went on something crazy? I made $1 million before I got a six-pack.
I think I did too. Yeah.
It's harder to make a six-pack. It's harder to get a six-pack than it is to make $1 million, because here's the thing. When it comes to money, you can get lucky. You can catch a run. You can catch a wave. You can catch a pump. But you can't fake working out in the gym.
You can't fake that abs, nah.
Like, men can't go get ab BBLs. You know what I'm saying? We can't go get ab surgery. Like, you actually got to do it. And it's two things. You got to work out and you got to eat right. Most people ain't going to eat right. They too busy going to brunch. They at the club eating. They eating whatever. That's the biggest part about it. And then you got to go hit the gym consistently. I got to lift this heavy shit over and over and over. And I can't stop when I get in shape. This is why so many dudes who, they got money, but they out of shape. So I knew I couldn't be some nigga with a whole bunch of money driving around in fancy cars, but when I take my shirt off, I'm skinny fat. A lot of dudes is called skinny fat. They're not fat, they're skinny, but they have no definition.
Right.
That was me. And I had to get rid of that shit, man. I had to cut that. I had to put the work in and get to it.
Consistency, persistence, sacrifice. And all of those three things I just named, discipline. You use that towards to get some money.
Right.
But when it comes to other areas, people kind of, right. I guess it's just not that important to them.
Right.
And when you first meet any man, you sizing them up.
Size them up.
You size them up, subconsciously.
Right.
Man, I think I could beat this nigga up.
Right.
Not even not on that type of time.
It's it's throughout history, man. People respect somebody who's a physical specimen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's interesting that a lot of businessmen that I know are extremely muscular and jacked because they demand a physical presence.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about just throughout my life, a lot of my mentors, the guys who make the big money, they were physical specimens. They were tall, they were in shape, they demand respect. And what people got to understand is most people will say, well, hitting the gym and getting in shape is not going to determine me making money. Yeah, that may be true. But it's almost like cheesecake. Cheesecake tastes good, right? It also tastes good with syrup on it too.
Especially that strawberry syrup.
Yeah, exactly. So why not have that component? Right? Being in shape is not going to decrease anything in your life. If anything, it's going to increase anything in your life because most people are going to figure out how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get a six-pack, bro.
Bruh.
Shit is difficult. If a guy can get a six-pack, you are now in the top 5% of planet Earth. So the thing is the discipline it takes to make money, to get good with women, to get in shape, they're all the same discipline. It's the repetition of doing something that you don't want to do over and over and over and over.
Getting out your comfort zone. Now, bro, I went out to eat with this man one time, bro. And homie pulled out a fucking scale. Homie pulled out the scale and put his food on top and was like, bro, what are you doing, bro? He's like, bro, I'm weighing my food, bro. And that clicked to me, bro, like how dedicated you were to the shit. And I was like, bro, I need to step my shit up, bro. I need to step my shit up. If somebody's coming to, because I'm pretty sure you take that on dates.
No, I don't eat on dates.
Explain. What do you mean?
Well, a man shouldn't be eating on dates majority of the time. The only time you should be eating on a date is towards the end of the night. Most men don't know how to date. You know that, right?
Let's get into it.
There's a science to dating. So if I meet a woman, my goal is to create an experience for her, because what most guys don't understand is you're not going to get a second, third, fourth, fifth date. How do I know? I've spoken to so many women who went out on a date with a guy, but he did something, or she may start talking to this dude, or something happens between the time they had that date and the potential for the next date, which ruins it. So what a guy has to do is he has to take the first date and turn it into 3 to 4 dates in one. It's called compressing time frames.
You talking about like a whole day event type shit?
Exactly. Because if we gonna be honest, right? Most dudes, if he's taking a girl on a date, he wants to have sex with her.
Pretty much.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
And most women know that, right? But where most dudes mess up is they want to have sex with her, but they're planning to make it happen on the second, third, or fourth date. Bro, you're not going to get one. You have to turn the first date into 3 to 4.
So what's the first spot?
So the first spot needs to be an area that has good lighting, good vibes. I recommend cocktail bars, high-end hotels, speakeasies. And this is where he breaks the ice. Now, this is when most dudes mess up. I hear this all the time. I see it on Instagram, the whole nine. Dudes go on dates and they talk. Like, bro, when I go on a date, I damn near don't even let her know my age, let alone know what's going on in my life. Because the way you get good with a woman and the way you build attraction is you have her tell you about her. So you don't talk, you ask questions. So what that's going to do is that's going to get that woman extremely intrigued in you. This is why on your show, if a person just watches his show, he ain't talking about him. He's talking about the girl the whole time. He's just asking questions, and they just spilling their guts.
Spilling.
I watch all of them. They just spill their guts, bro. They don't know shit about you, bro. You can be a serial killer. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't care. So you got to talk about them. So that's the first thing. And once he breaks the ice there, he has to understand that he has to do what's called the jump. The jump is you go from spot to spot to spot. Each spot is a different date because it's a different environment and it's a different experience. So what you do on the first date is you break the ice, you build attraction, you build the touch barrier. You're looking directly in her eyes. You want to have her nervous. And when that spot's done, when you feeling the energy of the environment go down, you switch and go to the next spot. And this is where you have to have it planned out. So if a guy's gonna go on a date, he needs to plan out 3 to 4 spots before the date even starts. He says, okay, I'm gonna take her here. When that's done, we're gonna go to this spot here. I'm gonna catch the Uber Black. Boom, we're gonna go over here. And then from there, we're gonna go to this spot. And then from there, we're gonna go to this spot. It's because, bro, you don't have as much time as you think with this woman, bro. There's something called Instagram. And she's scrolling Instagram and she got other dudes in her DMs. And I learned this going on hundreds and hundreds of dates. Like, it took years to learn this. So when you leave and go from the second one, boom, you're gonna now go to the next spot. And what the biggest thing I hear from women is, it was like, okay, the date was cool, but it's boring. Dudes, they take women on boring dates. This is why I say don't eat. Because if you go to a restaurant and y'all go to wherever, Capitol Grill, Nobu, whatever, and now you sitting at this date with this woman, she's sitting across from you. It's an interview, bro. It's like an interview.
Let me interject. Okay. I gotta go back. All right. So the first thing, you said, guys fuck it up for themselves.
Right.
And I truly believe that. They talk too much.
Well,
you can really talk your way out the pussy. And the thing is it's really not about you. Of course, you want to answer some questions, but it's mostly about the woman. You want to basically take them through a period of where they feel like they're being filtered out. It's like you're damn, what is the word? It's like you're weighing out your options. Let me see if you're the perfect fit for me. Okay.
Right.
Okay, what you like to do? What you do for a living? How old are you? How many kids you got? And they're answering the questions to try to basically make you like them. So one thing guys actually do is talk themselves out the pussy.
They talk themselves right out of it.
And if you do watch my show, bruh, it's really just, it's game. I'm not trying to, and I tell women this, I'm like, yo, listen, this is like date night. This is how I started off. I'm like, this is like date night. This is how I make women so comfortable. So, anytime you want to ask me a question, just interject. And women, they want to answer the question. They want to talk. Women want to talk themselves to death.
They want to talk. They love to talk.
So I let them talk. And see, now I haven't really tried the going on like multiple. I probably done it. I go probably 2 spots.
Right.
So let me ask you this. You're not going on that many dates with multiple women, I would say, because shit, you can't do this 4 or 5 days out the week.
No, it's impossible. Because I tried it. I did it. I did it. Summer 2022, I had a run.
Yeah, we all
I had a run. And what do I mean by a run? I was honing in on my skill of being able to deal with women. And bro, it's like a full-time job trying to date women multiple nights. And this is why a lot of dudes, this is what most dudes do, right? Most dudes do, they have their women priorities here, and what that's going to do is that's going to take away from their money priorities.
Oh yeah.
So if you're trying to make money, you got to spend time to make money. But if you're dealing with women, women goes up and money goes down. So you got to be able to prioritize that. So I only think a dude should date women he really, really, truly likes and he sees something with. But because you can't date most of these women anyway. Most dudes go on dates to have sex. And that's stupid, bro. It's stupid. It's because it's like, bro, it's like, bro, we've all had sex, bro. Like, you need it that bad, bro?
Hold on, you said that men shouldn't date women that they actually like? Or they really want to...
They only should be doing that with women that they really, really like and see something with.
Gotcha. Okay,
just going on dates and trying to holler at multiple women and trying to sleep with multiple women. That's stupid, bro. But it's needed in the beginning if you don't know what you're doing. Because the reality is I've went out with a lot of women who I've known who go on dates with dudes and I get her and he doesn't. Because of all the things I'm talking about right now. He's boring. I was talking to a chick last night. She was walking to the building I was in. And I said, where you coming from? She was like, I'm coming from a date. I'm like, what you doing here? In my brain, I'm like, the date should still be going on. The date is an experience. It's like an adult Six Flags. But dudes don't know how to date. He took her to one spot. They talked, this, that, and then at the end of that first spot, there's this awkward, okay, I guess have a nice night or this and that.
Yo, it'd be like,
bro,
damn, okay.
No, bro.
I don't know what to do.
It's awkward. So this is why anytime you set up a date with a woman, you need to give her instructions. So what I would do is I say, hey, you got a curfew? No, I ain't got a curfew. Okay, great. So you ain't got a curfew, cool. Wear something sexy, wear heels, and bring a swimsuit. So in her mind, she's like, oh, we're about to go swimming. And she's all excited. And she's never had a dude, make these type of plans and demands. Oh, by the way, send me a picture of your dress. So they're anticipating the date. She's now, hold on. So no dude's ever done this. No dude's ever asked her to bring a swimsuit. No dude's ever told her what to wear, what color to wear, heels, this and that. Send me a picture of you. Send me a picture of the dress. Send me a picture of what you look like. Okay, cool. Boom. I'm gonna send the Uber Black to get you. So now she's in my vicinity the entire time. I have control of this vicinity of where we go. So when it's an experience.
That's another thing too. Do not let these women drive.
Do not let these women
drive.
Jesus
either
Christ.
you go pick them up or you send them.
Because one, women can't drive.
Oh my God.
Shit. And I'm not saying all women can't drive, but most of them can't drive, bro. And it's not that it's a bad thing.
Most of them can't park, bro.
Listen, they don't need to be driving anyway. This is why you as the man, you either pick her up or you go get an Uber for her. And this comes to, well, damn. An Uber Black, man, I ain't got that much money. Go get some money, fool. You trying to date and you ain't really making no money. And what you don't understand is making money helps you learn how to deal with women. It's because you got to learn how to handle stress. You got to be disciplined. You got to learn how to manage the money. You got to learn how to manage people. You got to learn all these attributes that would translate into you dealing with women. And this is why most dudes, they're lacking in a lot of the areas. They're either lacking in fitness and women, and they may be making money. Or they got fitness, they got the fitness on point. They got a lot of women, but they ain't got no money. Like they're missing in one of those three areas, which is the fitness, money, and women.
How long was this trial and error period with you and women until you like?
Bro, I mean, it's for most dudes, it's gonna be your whole life. But the thing is I would say over the past 6-7 years, I started to pay attention. I was like, how can I be good with women? Most dudes don't even ask the question to themselves. They're clueless. Most people don't think. Most people ain't curious. Most people don't want to become a professional in everything that they do. How do you become a professional with women? Okay, well, you look and learn and you see what the professionals are doing. How does a guy like Dan Bilzerian, when you go to his page, have all these women from the past 10, 15 years? Well, Dan got his money right.
That's the first and foremost.
He got his money. Listen, Dan could not do what he's doing if he wasn't rich for real. Now, he would probably be getting women, but bro, you ain't flying women to Tahiti if you ain't got no private jet, bro. You can't have all these crazy experiences if you ain't got no money. And this is what most men mess up. I see a lot now that men are talking about women wanting to date them for money. Bro, 97% of women don't want your money. The only women who actually want you to give them money is escorts, prostitutes, and hoes. A woman doesn't want you to hand her over some money.
She just wants you to have it.
What a woman wants is an experience, and most guys don't understand the experiences cost money. So for the average guy who goes on a date with a chick, he goes to a little restaurant, he pulls up in his BMW, they go in, they eat, and then after the date, that's it, she goes home. Versus me, I'm gonna go pick her up in the supercar. We're gonna go to the first spot. The first spot's gonna be a great vibe because she Ubered to the spot. I put her now in the supercar with me. I drive back to my house. I drop the car off. I call the Uber Black. We go to the next spot. We have a great time there. Then we go to the next spot. The next spot, I know the owner. I said, hey, man, I'm here. Oh, yeah, go to the back booth. We go to that spot. It's an experience. I didn't give her money, but because the money has the experience. The supercar shows the experience. It's no different from a BMW. It goes to the same area. But picking her up in a supercar versus picking her up in your Mercedes creates a different experience. So this is why having money is so critical if you want to deal with higher level women. And we ain't talking about, 4, 5, and 6s here. Anybody can get those. But the reality is most dudes, they want beautiful women. Would you agree?
Yes.
So the reason why they can't get the beautiful women is because they don't have the money to create the experience or they don't have the clout to create the experience. It's because you're not handing her money, bro. You're creating a vibe and an environment and a scenario that money provides.
So how long was your trial and error with money?
Oh, man. I mean, I've been fighting since 2008. I got my first business in 2008. And in 2008 is when I made a decision to get rich. I was like, I'm going for it. See, the reason why most dudes don't begin their ascent to making money is because they don't decide. They don't make a decision. They're like, yeah, it'll be cool to have some money. Yeah, it'll be okay to drive better cars and this and that. But bro, you ain't made a decision because decision, if you think about the word decision, it's decide.
Pick a side.
You got to pick a side, bro. You ain't picked a side. So because you still teeter-tottering from doing the bullshit, hanging out, smoking weed, doing this, you haven't picked a side on figuring out how to make some money. And once you pick the side on figuring out how to make some money, a lot of this shit over here gets pushed to the side.
Don't even fucking matter. A lot of people have like these dreams and hopes. I could say, yeah, bro, I want this, I want that. But when you look at the journey on what it takes to get that shit, they not gonna make it. They don't even want to go through it because failure is real for people. Failure is so scary for people. Like, man, if I try it and I don't make it, fuck it. But you would rather talk about it all day, like, or dream about it, or let somebody else around you get it and then try to benefit off them. Now you say 2008. At what point after that did you actually, I would say not just rich, you became financially free?
So before then, man, I tried everything, bro. And that's what most people mess up. They don't try.
Don't try enough.
They don't try. And then they don't try enough. A person get into a business that doesn't work is like, oh, okay, I'm done. No, bro. You may have to try 20 businesses it may take you 10 years before you really, really hit it. I haven't really hit it yet.
Right.
Like, I'm nowhere near, bro.
Because the goal is so big.
Right, because the goal is so big.
Yeah. So the like, let's just say you hit 2 M's, like, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I'm okay.
Let me set the record straight. $1 million ain't no money,
It ain't
man.
enough.
I'm telling you, I pray everybody who watches this, they get a chance to make their first M. What you're gonna do is you're gonna make $1 million, but by the time you get to $1 million, because before you get to $1 million, you hit 100, and then you hit 3, and then you hit 500 and 700 and 800. By that time, you've already increased your lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
You've already increased your car. You've already increased your apartment. You've already increased these things. And it's the ascend to the $1 million. We're not talking about somebody who hit a crypto pump and got $1 million.
Right.
The ascend to $1 million, you start to realize, bro, this is not enough, bro. It's not. Like, I forgot who I was talking to, but I tell this story a lot about how there is really a big gap between $1 million to 5 million. There's like a ceiling, because there's guys out there who have more money than me, but I have the same lifestyle. Same nice condos, same nice cars, same nice, attire, this and that. In order to go to the next level, you got to be 10 and beyond. So between 1 to 5, you really basically in the same club. Me and you could be in the club. You can have 5 million, I can have 1 million. We both can buy a section.
It's a fact.
We both can have a supercar outside. Because the next level is so much. So what a person has to do is they have to realize, people underestimate the amount of time that they think that it's going to happen for you. It's not going to work on your timeline. It's not. There's a lot of, I think social media has created a scenario to people think that, okay, I'm watching this guy. He's making all this money. He's doing whatever, and he's living this lifestyle. But, bro, that man probably been grinding for 7 years, man. So you can't compare 2024 to his 2017. You're starting in 2024. He's starting in 2017. You got a long ways to go.
You, I think before you made that leap of faith moving to Atlanta, you had Kevin Samuels as, somewhat of a mentor. And what you shared with me was he didn't mention anything about women. You would think, that would be the conversation coming from Kevin Samuels. But tell me, or tell us, what did you learn? RIP to the GOAT.
RIP to the GOAT.
What did you learn from Kevin Samuels and the conversations you was having with him before he passed?
What I learned from Kevin was you got to stop moving in fear. And what I mean by moving in fear was I was moving in fear dealing with women as far as having a serious relationship, wanting to move so fast, wanting to be somewhere that I didn't deserve to be, wanting to be somebody I haven't developed myself to be yet. Because the reality is, Kevin kept it real with people, man.
Too real.
He kept it real with people. And the issue with most people is they don't like the truth. And the reason why most people won't go out there and develop themselves is because they don't want to face the man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror. Like, if you fat, motherfucker, you fat. Don't get offended if somebody tells you that. It is what it is. If you broke and you ain't got no money, but you spend your weekends playing games and smoking weed, bro, people will lie to themselves and say that that's okay. They will create a scenario that that's okay. People lie to themselves. So when somebody's coming out telling the truth, they're going to get stones thrown at them. They're the bad guy. And the thing is about any mentor or coach that you want to make sure that they can be able to tell you the truth. The best coaches out there are the ones that tell the truth. My best coaches I've ever had are the ones that have told me the truth. And they've never been good conversations. And it's never come off as nice or whatever. It is what it is. So if a person wants to change their life, you got to start being truthful. Go in the mirror, strip yourself down and be like, all right, I got to fix this about myself. I got to lose weight. Go to your mobile app and be like, I ain't got no money. I don't need to be kicking it this weekend. Look at your phone. If no women are texting you right now and all your DMs are getting ignored, know that you ain't good with women, bro.
Mm-hmm. You got to be honest with yourself before anybody else can tell you. Because if you know the truth, when somebody tells you or you hear it, you know, through the grapevine, it's not going to hurt. Right. Because I know this. I know myself. I've told myself this 100 times. So some people just lie and live in this false reality. Like, okay, I got someone around me that don't have no money, don't have no motion going on, but believes in his mind that he's working.
Right.
He's working towards it. But what I see every day is it doesn't replicate what I don't see it. Right. I see that you wasting time, nigga. And I gotta be honest with you, but even when I'm honest, that shit's going one end out the other. And, you know, still under 30, but by the time he hits 30, like life is gonna really hit you, bro. You really gonna have to be honest with yourself. And it's really like, okay, you had someone like Kevin Samuel, you had mentors. Like if you ain't got nobody in your life like that, it's gonna be hard for you. You gonna need somebody to fucking tell you the truth and push you. Give you that extra motivation to be like, yo, fuck it, bro. Yo, listen, you ain't shit. You ain't got shit. You need to do something about that. You need to do something about that. How long were you talking to Kevin Samuel? Like, how long was this mentorship?
I got a chance to speak with Kevin for about a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope as hell. That's dope. One thing
after every session, I was disappointed in myself for about 1 to 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
Every session.
Yeah, bro. He's way harder on men.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't towards the last session I had with him to where he eased up on me because he's seen that I was trying, like I really wanted it.
Yeah.
See, people who really want it, the universe is extremely fair. And how the universe works is it sees what you do and it sees your discipline and it sees your drive and it will come to your aid at the right time. So for a person who's truly trying, they will eventually get results. So if a person hasn't got results yet, you haven't proven yourself. You haven't proven yourself to God. You haven't proven yourself to the universe. And most importantly, you haven't proven yourself to you. When I started making money, I knew it was my time. I knew it. I knew I deserved every penny I was making.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would been putting in the work year after year after year after year. So going back to the honesty part, most people, man, they if a person can be honest with themselves and analyze where they are in life, they can really ascend to the next level quickly by somebody other than them analyzing what they're dropping the ball on. This is why having a coach and mentor is so critical. I even came to you. I was like, man, I see you blowing this social media thing up, man.
Mm-hmm.
How can I learn how to do this? Like a person has to be curious. A person has to drop the ego. The thing about a lot of men is, yeah, we're born with egos, but there's a difference between the ego that keeps you alive and then the ego of where you are in life.
Keeps you stuck.
And most people, they confuse the two. Mm-hmm. So what you have to do is you have to have somebody who can gauge where you are in life and give you a plan or a blueprint. So this is why coaches are so important. And I think at the time when I was talking with Kevin, I was with my ex-girlfriend. We was going through some things. And I mean, man, that one conversation I had with him just made everything clear. I was just lying to myself, bro. Most dudes just lie to themselves, bro. So you gotta be honest with yourself. You gotta stop lying to yourself. You gotta be true. And then you gotta start taking action on simple tasks daily that's gonna help you get to the next level.
Small steps to the bigger goal. Like when you think about, let's just say, fitness, working out, we look at the end result and be like, you know what, bro, this shit might just take forever. But it's not really about it's not getting to that image you have in your head.
Right.
It's about the journey that you're taking yourself through. Them baby steps. Like, even if like you don't feel like going to the gym, even if you don't feel like working that day, small steps. Yo, let me do something. Something is always better than nothing.
Right.
And I feel like that's really how I got here, bro. Like, it's some days where I don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? As men, like, shit be hard on us.
Right.
We go through stress with ourselves. We go through stress with family. We go through stress, especially with women, especially financially, that sometimes niggas just want to give up.
Right.
Like, man, fuck this shit, bro. But the thing is, when you give up, ain't nobody finna be like, hey, bro, you need help down there?
Bro, ain't nobody coming to save you, man.
Let me pull you up, bro. Let me damn, bro, I seen you gave up, man. You just been laying down. Let me pick you up. Nah, you walk past homeless people all the time.
All the time.
We're not
bro.
saying, hey, bro, let me come put you in the house. No. We walk right past them.
Right past them.
Every day. So that's how you need to look at life. That's how you need to look at yourself. Like,
most people are conditional, Jonathan. And what I mean by conditional is a person will get into a business, right? Because they want to better their life and make money. And what happen is they'll start this business, they'll do this thing or whatever it is, and because the results isn't fast enough, they quit.
mm-hmm.
So that means that, so you were only about the money. Most people are only about the end result. And this is why people quit everything. They're all conditional. It's like, hold on, would you do this if you didn't make any money?
Right. All right.
Right? So if a person's working out and they don't see the results happen quick enough and they quit, it's like, well, you just about the end result.
Mm-hmm.
You're conditional. And to get anything in life, you can't be conditional. That's like, if you do this, I'll do this.
Right.
That's how most people are. It's like, pay me first, then I'll put the work in.
Then I'll do the work.
Success is, I put the work in, I put the work in, I put the work in, I put the work in. 1 year has went by. No results. I put the work in, I put the work in. 2 years has went by. No results. I put the work in, I put the work in, I put the work in, I put the work in. And then you may see something along the way. The universe may sprinkle a little bit on you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why the way that I am, I never was conditional, bro. I looked at the result. I said, okay, this is where I can be one day. Let me get to work. And even though it didn't happen the first year, 2, 3, 4 years, I wasn't like, man, fuck this shit. I ain't doing this, man. I ain't doing this no more. That's conditional.
Mm-hmm.
That's wanting something for nothing. You got to pay the full price first, meaning that you got to put all your chips in first, then you will receive your reward. So a person has to understand, in order to change your life in any manner, you got to throw all the conditions out the window. All of them.
Why do you pay so much for mentorship?
Because if I knew it all, I would have it all.
Great answer. Great answer. No, because bro, like every time that we talk, bro, it's somebody new that you're paying for game, for knowledge, for the network, for the circle.
Right.
And I think that's a lost cause. You know, people don't want to pay to play. They just want to play.
Right,
you know,
they want something for nothing.
They want something for nothing. You want a handout. You didn't pay Kevin Samuels. You paid Wes.
Mm-hmm.
You paid fucking Tates.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to hear about that experience. It's like a no-brainer. You know, like to be around certain people not just gonna just be openly inviting you into their space.
High level people don't need new friends, and this is what most people don't understand.
I don't.
Most people think that a high level person, right, needs to be or wants to be cool with you. And a lot of people, they want to be cool and buddy with a high level person, but you don't understand is that high level person has awareness and all the things and trials and tribulations that they went through up until the point where they are today to get there. They don't have time for new friendships and relationships. So when I talk about mentorship, is what you're doing is you're paying for speed.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying for convenience. Mm-hmm. It's no different from a convenience store. If you want something to eat real quick, you can go to fast food. Mm-hmm. But you got to pay for that, though. We all pay for convenience for everything in our lives, right? But when it comes to a person's life, they don't want to pay for convenience. They want to figure it out or they want to do it on their own. So the reason why, baby girl, you need to get that coach, that fitness coach, is because you don't know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You just can't eat a couple salads and think you're just going to get in shape. No, you need to go to somebody who's already been through that process to get the information.
To shorten that learning curve.
So mentorship, I learned years ago, I'm like, okay, I'm basically just paying for speed. I'm paying for convenience. I'm paying for the shortcut because there is a shortcut to success. Mm-hmm. And the shortcut to success is taking the knowledge out of another person's brain who's already successful and downloading it into yours and putting the work in. But people, I was talking to somebody about this, about the reason why most people fuck up is because they take all their money and they spend it on bills. That's the worst thing you can do. The worst thing a person can do is take all their money, put it in the bank, and pay bills. Because what they don't understand is the bills have no return. So I've went broke multiple times taking money that I probably should have paid this and paid that, and I gave it to this guy. This is how I even got to this point. The reason why you even know me is because summer 2020, I took my tax check and I paid a guy to teach me real estate. I was behind on everything. I was behind on rent. I was behind on bills. American Distress was calling me. Discover. All of them was blowing me up trying to get paid. But I understood that if I took my money and gave it to and paid my credit card bills, that I'm back at zero once I paid the bills. So I understood this concept. I got to take my money and pay for speed and knowledge. Is because if I just pay bills, there's no return. But if I pay this for this course or this coach, and then I can start making money, I can pay my bills forever.
So go homeless.
Not necessarily saying go homeless, but you got to have some type of risk factor in what you're doing. And most people don't understand is, okay, I may have to cut back. I may have to cut back everything.
You might have to cut back on food, bro.
Bro, listen, bro.
You might have to cut back on food, man.
Bro, I ate so many rotisserie chickens from Kroger, bro.
Yo, listen, go get you some fucking bread, peanut butter, jelly. Go get you some fucking noodles, man. Whatever the fuck it might take. People get too comfortable in like just convenience. Oh man, listen, man, I'm just gonna Uber Eats this shit. Not knowing that shit Uber Eats, man, that's $30 a pop. You ain't got no goddamn money, but $30 a pop here. You gotta eat 2-3 times a day. They don't understand sacrifice. Bruh, none of this shit matters. The car, the girls, none of that shit matters like when you're really trying to get to the next level in life. Now just imagine this. Let me ask you this. When you were broke, what do you still have? And name something that you still have that you have now when it comes to friends, goddamn, the house you own, the car you owned. What do you have now that still is important in your life that you just brought with you?
The best thing I had when I was broke, bro, was my positive attitude.
That's the only thing that you carry with you. None of that shit matters, bro. None of that shit. What about your friends?
Still got my friends.
Friends.
Right? Now, a lot of friends are going to fall off.
For sure.
It's because when you start to begin a journey, you start to go up the mountain, right? A lot of people are okay being on the side of the mountain because they got their lives and what they're doing. But you're fighting to get up the mountain, bro. They're not going to climb with you. They'll stand and watch from the side. A lot of people watch me from the side. They watch me. A lot of people watched me go from broke, living in an Airbnb, trying to do this little real estate thing, and then they see me do my first deal, and then my second deal, my third deal, my 10th deal, my 20th deal, and then my life just started to creep up. Because there's no quantum leap when it comes to going where you are to the next level. It's an incremental gain. And the reason why a lot of friends will fall off is because they want success, but deep down, they're not going to put the work in. And then deep down, they really don't want you to be more successful than them. And then deep down, when you start getting some success, what that does indirectly, it makes them question where they are. So I'm sure there's a lot of people that know you who they may be happy for you. They may not be that happy for you because they see where you are now. It's because they know they haven't put no work in. They know they didn't bust their ass for these past few years building a business. So a lot of people gonna fall off. But see, as you keep climbing up the mountain, you start to discover people who are climbing up the mountain too.
Other people that have been climbing.
There's other people that's climbing, bro. And it's gonna be, for a lot of people, a lonely journey because you're gonna have to cut a lot of stuff off. And it's a decision that you have to make temporarily. It's not forever. It's temporarily. And the thing is most people don't understand is the mountain is never ending. It's a never ending climb. Because once you start making some money, then you're gonna discover that, okay, it's not as good as I thought I was, so I gotta chase the next goal. Then I gotta chase the next goal. I gotta chase the next goal. But the excitement of it all, when it comes to success, is not the actual material things that you collect. It's the person that you become along the way. The biggest thing that I've discovered in my journey was the person that I've become. I said to myself, Alex, I'm so proud of you, bro. The Alex from 5 years ago, I look back because you got pictures on your phone and you can look back and start stuff. I was like, man, I'm so glad that dude pushed through. I would not be here. If that dude didn't decide to take all this money and pay that guy and work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week, 2 years straight, I wouldn't be here.
Self-talk. Whether it might be positive or negative, you gotta have those talks with yourself.
Absolutely.
Like telling yourself you proud of yourself, telling yourself, hey man, keep going. Hey, you got this. But also keeping it real, like, hey man, you're not doing enough. You ain't doing enough, bro. You gotta step your shit up. Those self-talks are so important, bro. Like I look in the mirror, whether it might be me just getting done working out, like, oh bro, we got this. Oh, we you know what I mean? Whatever it might be, oh bro, we need to hit this M. We need to hit this 10M. Whatever it might be. But those self-talks are so important because, you won't have a parent. No, you say you still got your dad you still talk to. Ain't too many people got a parent in their life where they're just gonna be trying to motivate them 24/7 or watching their every move, telling them, hey man, or a coach. Even if that you're paying for a coach, they're not just watching every move. They got their own life. They're busy. So you got to be that coach. You got to be that teammate. You got to be that brother to yourself. You got to be all these things to yourself outside of the people that you got in your life. I know, like, when I go back in my phone, I look at, when I was, like, before prison.
Right.
I thought that I was that nigga. I thought I was the smartest. I thought I was doing the right thing, even though I was doing some illegal shit. And going through prison, going through all that bullshit, and then looking back at it now, like,
it made you who you are, bro. Adversity creates champions, man. Most people don't understand that. The reason why a lot of people aren't further right now is because they haven't dealt with enough adversity, and they haven't built their mental muscles to be able to go through stress. Understand this: success is all based on your stress level. If you can deal with a bunch of bullshit and keep pushing, you can become whatever you want to become. So for a guy like you who went to prison, it's like some of the most successful people I know today went to prison. What is it about prison that makes people champions? Is because when they come out, they ain't got nothing to lose.
you got shit to lose. That's exactly how I felt.
Bro, going to prison, I've never been to prison before, but going to prison, you're at the bottom. They strip you of everything. You have nothing. All you have is your mindset.
You don't even have your identity.
You don't have your identity. They strip you, bro.
You ain't got no swag. You ain't got no bread. Yeah, you might have some bread on the outside, but that shit don't matter in here because we only can spend $350 a week on commissary.
That's right.
Then they put everybody in the same clothes.
Right.
We all the same.
So you're
less than.
Yeah, you're stripped. You're
Yeah.
stripped of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that you think about is, man, getting another shot.
That's it. Bro, these people open this motherfucking gate up.
It's game over.
Game over. But now everybody don't have the same mentality.
Right.
Now I seen a lot of people fuck off. I seen a lot of people just, they look at the time that they gotta serve and they look at it as a sentence versus, you know what? This could actually be a blessing. I get time to my motherfucking self. I get time to read. I get time to work out. I got time. I got time to put a plan together. I got no distractions. And that's how I looked at it. Before I even went in, like, okay, I got an opportunity where, okay, I got to sit down for 2-3 years, which I'll never get again in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I can go out here and become a whole new person. I can create a whole nother Jonathan in this motherfucker. And it's some niggas I done seen, man, it's a drug in there called Tunchi. This drug allows you to escape. You smoke this shit one time, man, you gone for hours. It's like you just zone the fuck out. Like heroin or something. And bro, it's like people was going through so much stress within their mind that they needed some type of escape. And my escape was books. Fucking hitting the prison yard. Nigga, I remember going to that prison yard, bro, and seeing everybody out there cut the fuck up. I don't know how the fuck you couldn't get motivated by that. Everybody outside in the prison yard was cut the fuck up and out there doing burpees.
Right.
In 99-degree weather.
Right.
Nigga, shit, I took my shirt off too, nigga. We doing burpees too, nigga.
That's right.
Shit. That's how, like, it was like gladiator school, my nigga.
That's it.
Now, I never wish prison on anybody. But you got to find that type of environment wherever the fuck you at. You got to find a group of niggas, a group of guys that's on that same type of time that you want.
They stripped you of everything, bro. So you now had to only use what you had.
Fucking mind.
Which is your mind. Mm-hmm. So when you went out in a prison yard and you seen all those dudes working out, it's like, oh shit, I got time to work out now.
I got plenty time.
I got time to do this now.
I got plenty time.
What it does is it almost takes you back to our original state, which is we come to this planet with nothing. And what it does is it removes all excuses. Mm-hmm. So COVID was prison for me. I was locked in the house. Most people missed out on one of the greatest opportunities ever in history, which is COVID. Everybody was locked in the house. Mm-hmm. Everybody could have been focused, building a business, building a plan, getting a strategy together, figuring out how to become a champion. But most people made excuses. Most people cried about it. Me, I was locked in the house becoming a champion, bro.
Yeah, listen, lucky for me, I got out right before COVID. which gave me an extra benefit. Like, oh shit, the world shut down now.
World shut down.
I ain't got no distractions. I can actually get out of prison and then really focus. All right, I was already focused in jail with the bare minimum.
Right.
Now I got access to whatever I had, whatever I need. Oh, I got my money now. Okay, I got this idea in my head. I got this brand. I'm about to. All right, let me focus. Let me try to put this shit together. You could really utilize that time to your benefit, but everybody ain't got that in them, man.
Yeah, most people don't know how to spot opportunity, man.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
When you gonna settle down? Like,
Yeah, I want to settle down.
but
I want about 10 kids.
yo, me too. Me too.
Most high level people have a lot of kids. I've noticed.
Mm.
And I discovered this recently by visiting my dad. And my dad, he's 63, 64. And I see that the main joy that my dad has right now is all my sister and brothers.
Mm.
It's 8 of us. So when you get into that older age, it ain't about making money and working your job or trying to move up in your career. You're in the later stages of your life. So really the only joy that you have is the clan that you built. And he has all these kids doing all these different things. And on his 60th birthday, man, he cried, man, because he had all my sisters and brothers, their kids. It was the legacy.
Came from my nutsack, man. Not real shit though.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing though. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a beautiful thing that me just having my first child and then just first receiving unconditional love. You know, you're creating life that, you know, if you do right by them, they're always gonna be there for you.
That's right.
So would you just take your time and shit?
No, you just can't pick any woman, man. Like, you have to be able to pick right. You just can't pick.
What you mean by that, man?
Well, the woman you have a kid with is going to be the most important thing that you do as a man. And if you're a man who can't be able to decipher those qualities in a woman, well, you're going to have a baby with the wrong woman and you're going to have trouble. So I think one of the biggest issues with dudes out here with, if you can ask any dude, well, you know, what would you do different? He would probably say, oh, I wouldn't have a child with her. It's because a guy doesn't really look at the woman that he's dealing with and her characteristics and her attitude and her, all the things about her to see if this is somebody who's fit to have a child with. They look at it in a lust form.
The visual,
which is having sex, they look good, da-da-da. Like, no, bro, you got to be able to decipher the difference between a good woman and just a woman. So for me, in the modern times we're in now, it's harder to be able to find a good woman to be able to have kids with. And you got to talk to a lot of women. You got to go through a lot of women to be able to decipher that.
What is the right woman for you?
Well, the right woman is a couple of things. I mean, we can get into it if you want to know my thoughts.
Shit, we got time, my nigga. Yeah.
The right woman, I would say, if I just say my standards, right? A woman who, for one, hasn't been with a lot of guys. And this is why that's right there is so critical, is if you deal with a woman who's dealt with a lot of guys, it's easier for them to jump ship when times get hard. Because if you deal with a woman who's dealt with a lot of guys, if you're dealing with her and y'all going through a rough patch or something happens, well, it's easy for her to go to the next dude. Okay. Well, how do you decipher a woman who's not dealt with a lot of guys? Well, you got to date a younger woman. So it's not that every woman has been with a lot of guys. It's just that a lot of women unintentionally have been with a lot of guys because they go from breakup to breakup to breakup to breakup to breakup, and then they meet you. So it's now, okay, you have all this history of all these issues with dudes, and then now here I'm coming in. You have a mind frame of how a man is. And you have to avoid that. You have to avoid women who've been through trauma. You don't want a woman that's been through trauma. It's because that's not a woman's place. Trauma is for men. Trauma creates champions in men, not women. You want a woman who's had a soft life, who hasn't been through a lot, who's had a 2-parent home, and who hasn't been with a lot of guys. It's funny, I was dating this one chick, and I was having issues with her. But the reason why I stuck with her is because every time we had an issue and we would kind of semi-break up, she would always come back. Why? It's because she ain't been with a lot of dudes. I'm kind of like all she knows. So I don't have to I have to worry about her going to the next dude. How many women have you dealt with to where you were dealing with and something happened and they just jump ship and they with the next guy?
Most of them.
Majority of them, bro. So most men don't know how to decipher that. They don't know how to navigate that. So purity is very important in a woman. Softness and femininity is very important. And we live in the day and age now where you want to know the biggest disruptor in dating history on planet Earth?
Women making money?
Instagram. Instagram has completely changed the entire construct of dating. You know why? It's because a woman is one DM away from the next dude.
Too much attention.
It's too much attention. If you would go 20 years ago, she just couldn't go to the next guy. She didn't have all this attention on her. She didn't have all these dudes liking her pictures, all these dudes trying to get with them. And I'm not saying that to every woman, but we're still in a day and age where attention is very prominent when it comes to dealing with women. So they have way more options than they used to have. So another thing, I don't like women that got a big social media.
Listen, if you find you a chick with less than 1,000 followers,
I'm telling you now.
Keep her. Keep her. Listen, the rappers ain't been in her DMs, the scammers, keep her. I'm telling you.
Keep her, bro.
It's a blessing. Oh shit, she got 300 followers? And that means she don't be on social media like that. That means she don't really care for it. That means she ain't really putting enough energy into it. She don't give a fuck.
Right.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing, bro.
So, okay, you know, at 40, you know, okay, how young could you go? Is it like 24? Is it 30? Is it 21?
The ideal age is 19 to 24.
So you don't feel like a woman at 19, 20, she hasn't, you know, she ain't reached that maturity.
Yeah, and that's another misconception. Women don't need maturity, bro.
What they need?
They're already mature. And this is a big, I say, misconception in the community now, with especially our people. They think that because a woman's not mature, she's 22, she doesn't know any better. Bro, all of our grandmothers had 3 kids at 20. 21, 22. Ask your grandmother, when did they start a family and start having kids?
Nah, pretty young.
Pretty young.
That was
this is some new age shit.
This some different times, man.
It's different times now.
These 19-year-olds, man. These 19-year-olds be outside.
They be outside, bro.
So the grandmas was in the crib. They was learning from their moms. So.
Right. They were holding the household down. They were building families, bro. And this is only if a man, and I'm not saying a woman older can't do that, It's just that it decreases the chances, though.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not misogyny. This is the facts. This is the facts. There's nothing wrong with, and I date all types of women, right? I converse with all types of them. But it's just that a woman who's been through more and who's seen more, they've dealt with a lot, so the purity level goes down. So their tolerance to bullshit goes up. And you don't want that as a man. You want to be able to, if you're the leader, right? If I got to protect you, die for you, this and that, I need to be able to lead you. And I need you to be able to stick around and not jump ship when it gets hard. So you got to have a woman who's hasn't been through as much to be able to take that from her. You can't have that.
So you plan on having a lot of money. You plan on having a lot of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Are these kids with one woman?
They can be.
I like that answer. Because it's not just a one-way thing like, oh, no, it's going to have to be multiple women.
Right.
It is what it is. What happens, what happens. You know?
What happens is what happens, man.
Yeah, that's a good one. Before we go, man, speak about your experience with the takes. I know you speak a lot about it on your platform, but I just want you to tell the people, like, you know, what you learned from them, what you gained from that experience. Go ahead.
So my how I got into that was I wanted to be able to get into a network of brothers who are like me, who are on the same path, who are moving in the same direction, guys who are about their fitness, money. And it's hard when you start making money and you start moving up to find other like-minded people like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I jumped into the War Room, which is one of their networks. And then I went to one of the events. I got a chance to meet Tristan. Tristan is Andrew's brother. And he took a liking to me because of the suits that I was wearing. I was one of the only guys there that had like nice tailored suits, and he peeped that. So the entire weekend, man, we were talking about suits. And then during the weekend, they threw a contest. There's about 50, 60 something of us. And long story short, I ended up winning the contest. Because I said, I'm gonna win the contest. I was like, no disrespect to these guys, but I know me. So I'm gonna win this contest. So won the contest. Trisha said, bro, I like your style, man. You were exactly the type of, you just like me, man. He said, bro, you ever wanna hang out, you hit me up. You come to Romania. I was like, shit, all right, cool. I hit him, flew out to Romania. I never forget, it was like 15, 16 some hours flying out there. And I got out there, man, and I never forget hopping out the BMW. Their assistant picked me up. And man, it was like a different universe, bro. Those guys live on a different planet within a planet. And the thing about hanging around with high level people is you get to see how they move, right? So I got a chance to talk with Tristan and Andrew for about 3 or 4 days. And I got a chance to just watch these guys, bro. I got a chance to watch them. And I learned so many things just in those few days. First thing I learned was how they deal with women. Tristan has like 7 girlfriends, bro. Like 7, 8 girlfriends, bro. Who all know about each other.
Oh, my next question.
And they were so polite and so kind to everybody. And it was just, all those guys did was work, man. All they did was work. All they did was work. I had a few conversations with Andrew, but man, he was so locked in, bro. He was so focused. He worked the entire time. He wasn't talking much. He was just working. And then we have a couple conversations. We would talk about, whatever. We'll talk about cars because I like cars. They have cars. And I was just kicking it. But those guys were extremely polite. They work extremely hard. They're very polite to women, staff, everybody. And I can tell that they've been doing this for a long time. Just focused, working, and building their empire, not bothering nobody. And what I got from being there was, this is something that you have to build over time. You just got to keep working on yourself, keep working on yourself, keep working on yourself. They got up in the morning, work out. After they work out, work all day. Once they work all day, we'll go eat lunch, and then we'll come back and work some more. And then that night, we'll go hit the club. And then we was in VIP, bro. The club scene was crazy. There are a lot of mob bosses out there, bro. And it was just a movie, bro. Their life is a movie that they've been able to create for themselves. And that's why those guys were the way they are now. If you would have asked me, Alex, how did you go from just joining their little network to a few months later smoking cigars with Andrew Tate and fucking VIP? I was like, bro, there's no way I would have believed that, bro. But I knew why it happened for me is because of what I've been through and what I've been building myself up to. Mm-hmm. Nobody was supposed to be there but me. The lifestyle that those guys have is for me. I've been working towards this my whole life. So those guys showed me that if you just stay focused, do what you need to do, work hard, you can have anything that you want.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up, man. Give it up, man, for Alex, bro. This was a dope interview, my nigga.
Yes, sir.
You can talk.
Oh, yeah.
I know you had a lot to say.
Bro, we can talk for hours, bro. We can talk for hours, bro.
Oh, man. Leave these people with something, man.
I would say that, they can follow me on IG. Mm-hmm. Alex M. Inman.
Hold on. You also got a group yourself, right? You have a...
Yeah, so I'm right now launching the biggest school that teaches wholesaling real estate, because that's where I made my first couple $1 million was wholesaling. Mm-hmm. So right now I have a university that teaches everything from A to Z that I know. It's called wholesalinguniversity.com. Mm. And I've poured out everything that I know that took me from zero to making my first $1 million in 18 months and beyond. So I made my money in wholesaling real estate. So wholesalinguniversity.com, that's my school. And anybody can get into the school and learn everything that I've learned from A to Z on how to come in with little to no money and build a big business.
Mm. All right. Until next time, man. It's Manhood Mondays. And make sure y'all get you a third leg.